Hello good people, welcome to Vlogmas Day 8. Alright guys, I have a confession to make, so I need you to come in, just come a little closer. A little bit closer. I haven't finished a book in over a month. It's true, I literally have not finished a book since the day after Election Day, which was November 4th. I read one book in November, or I finished one book in November, and as of right now it is December 7th and I have not finished a single book, which is fine, but it's very unlike me, and I'm starting to feel the effects of me not prioritizing reading, because if you know anything about me, you know that reading is really self-care for me. It's how I decompress, process, deal with things. It's just as important to me as my journaling habit and all the other self-care things I do. But I feel like the end of this reading lull is near. I feel myself coming to the other side of the book tunnel, and I'm ready to end the year with some very good, cute, cozy reads that just make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I have a little stack of books here that are going to be the books that I prioritize finishing as we round out 2020. Will I get to all of them? Maybe. Will I finish most of them? Hopefully. Do I feel good about them? Absolutely. Let's just jump into the books, starting with the book that I am currently reading and determined to finish by the end of today. I did an Instagram live last night with Phoebe of Read and Write, and we were just talking about end of year plans and goals, and obviously end of year reading plans. And I mentioned I was in this little book rut, and she threw out a book that I didn't even know existed, and I cannot believe no one told me about this book. The book is called My December by Talia Hibbert, the author of the Brown Sisters series, Take a Hint Danny Brown, Get a Clue Chloe Brown, which are fantastic books. But this book is like a shorter, it's not a novella, but it's a shorter read. It's around 200 pages, and it is a Christmas themed book. As of right now, I've pretty much decided that I only really have the capacity for like middle grade and romance, so that's my end of year reading plan from a bird's eye view. But this book is so good. It's good in the way that only Talia Hibbert can make a romance good. It's steamy, it's funny, it's charming. Let me just try to break down what this book is about. So we follow two main characters, Cash, who is like a bad boy. He's a famous tattoo artist, and he's kind of like has that air of mystery to him. He's not super vulnerable, doesn't like to wear his heart on his sleeve. And then we have Bailey, who is our female main character. She is just like, you know, she's like about her business. She's no nonsense. I really enjoy her as a character. They both definitely have their guards up. You can tell that Bailey is like super protective of herself and very leery of men. And Cash just seems super guarded against everyone and is very hesitant to form any kind of new relationships outside of friendships. But the two of them obviously have this chemistry. Oh, it's so good. I really just jumped into it, so I don't want to give anything that you guys might consider a spoiler, but trust me when I say, if you want a fun, steamy holiday romance read, then you need to go pick up My December. It's on Kindle for like $1. It's the best dollar I've ever spent. All I want to do is finish all my things and get back to reading this book because I'm having so much fun with it, and I'm finally gonna finish a book because of it. So that is number one on this TBR, and one that I hope to cross out within the next couple of hours. Okay, my next fun, cute holiday romance read is The Little Bookshop on the Seine. You guys already know if it's set in Paris, I'm gonna read it, and this is set in Paris at Christmas time. Both times that I've gone to Paris, I've gone in December, and Paris during the holidays is truly like magical. So this book kind of reminds me, the premise for it reminds me of that movie The Holiday, where the two women switch lives and switch houses. So in this book, our main character switches lives and jobs with her friend in Paris. So she goes to Paris to work at a bookstore, and I think she had a very idyllic like idea of what it was going to be like, and it gets a little turned on its head, but she still gets to be in the City of Lights during the holiday season. So super excited for this one. It's a little bit of a chunker, but I'm back in the habit. I feel the reading flow on me, so I feel good about it. This next book was sent to me by the publisher, so thank you to Gallery Books for this copy of In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. This book has a little bit of a Groundhog's Day premise to it. Our main character, May, is basically in a rut. She's living at home. She hates her job. Things aren't going the way she wants, and she feels like it's going to be her last Christmas in the place that she loves being the most. But then one day she wakes up and she's repeating the same day over and over and over again. So I have been excited for this book because I love Christina Lauren, but I've heard a lot of mixed things about this so far. And to be honest, Christina Lauren, generally for me, they don't miss. They write great characters, they build fun, great stories, and I really, really, really enjoy their books. But I do feel like in the past couple of years, they've been churning out books so quickly that they're losing a little bit of that Christina Lauren magic that they had before. The last book they came out with was, I think it was The Honey Don't List, and before that it was Twice in a Blue Moon, and they were both good books, but they weren't the great books that I'm used to from Christina Lauren. They've written some of my favorite romances, and I don't think any of the romances they've written in the past couple of years I would classify as a favorite. But I'm hoping that I still really, really enjoy this one. I haven't heard anything bad about it, just that it kind of has that like quick release Christina Lauren effect that we've been seeing in the last couple of years, so I will let you know my thoughts on this in a later vlog. This next book has one of my favorite tropes, which is a second chance romance, and that is All About Us by Tom Ellen. So also the cutest cover, like so cute, so holiday. So in this book, our main character Ben considers one of these women the one who got away, and all of a sudden his current relationship is failing, and then he gets the opportunity to pursue the one who got away again. So it's that classic second chance romance. Will they, won't they, can they get it right this time? I really hope. I know I haven't read reviews for this one, but when we were on our live the other night, Phoebe mentioned that she didn't know if it was a sad book, and I said it is blurbed on the cover by Josie Silver, who was the queen of the sad book, so I hope it's not sad. But I just want, you know, a cute friends to lovers, will they, won't they, second chance romance Christmas book, and I think this one is going to deliver. The next read on my list is pretty much, I went on Instagram, I saw it and knew I needed to add to cart, and I did, and went to the bookstore to pick it up the same day, and that is The Green Glass House by Kate Milford. This is the first book in a middle grade series. It is like a winter Christmassy mystery, which normally isn't my vibe, but with middle grade, I feel like I'm much more willing to expand my typical genres that I read because they do it in a way that's so accessible, so fun, and it moves really, really fast. That's one of the reasons why I love middle grade when I'm in kind of a reading slump, because it pulls you into the story so quickly and you don't spend time feeling like you have to build up to caring about the core of the story. It's in from the beginning. So I've heard that this is adorable. I'm so excited for it. I personally love middle grade, and I think that more adults should read middle grade because yes, it's written with a childlike audience in mind, but the core, the story, the characters, they definitely all have relevance to grown-ups. So excited for this one. The last two books in my stack are the only two that aren't technically holiday themed books. First is Wondersmith. This is the second book in the Morgan Crow series. I don't want to read the synopsis of this one just because I think it kind of gives away the first book a little bit, but basically this is the second book in the Morgan Crow series. The first book is called Nevermore. We follow a girl named Morgan Crow. I think she's like 9 or 10 years old, and she believes that she is cursed. Everywhere she goes, bad things seem to follow her, and she gets the opportunity to finally go away to a school and, you know, gain an experience outside of the one she's had basically in her house, where her family treats her as an outcast. So second book in that series. I adored Nevermore. I thought it was a great book. Another really, really thick book, but these move super, super fast. I actually started this one in the beginning of the year, and then I put it down to prioritize some other books, but I cannot wait to get back to this and just be back in Morgan's magical little world. I cannot recommend this series enough. The third book just came out, and I will definitely be reading that early in 2021. And this last book was also gifted to me by the publisher, so thank you to Berkeley Books for this copy of How to Fail at Flirting by Denise Williams. I have heard nothing but great things about this. This is another one that Phoebe mentioned on our live last night. I will link that live in the description box in case you want to go back and watch it. We talk a lot about books, about writing, about our goals for next year, so it was a really good conversation. This book follows Naya, who decides to one night break all of her norms and have a random spontaneous hookup, and I think romance just pops off from there. I don't want to read the full synopsis because I want to go in a little bit surprised, but I have heard that this book is so good, but also deals with some heavier topics. If I can find any trigger warnings, I'll include them, and if I finish it and need to put trigger warnings. I always do, so no worries there. From the time that I started getting emails about this book, I was super intrigued by the title. I think the premise is really cute, and I love the fact that romances don't just consider themselves like a one-off romance book that just needs to make it steamy and fizzle out, that they're covering these harder, more difficult topics while still presenting it to you in a way that is super digestible. So I can't wait to get to this one. Alright, so that is my December TBR. Those are my books that I'm prioritizing to read before the end of the year. I have no idea what I'm gonna read after Merry Inkmas, so if any of these books pop out as like, you have to read this next, definitely start with this one. Let me know in the comments, or if you've read any of them, let me know what your thoughts were. I'm really curious, especially if you've read In a Holidays, the Christina Lauren book. I'm really interested to know what you think of their latest. I know they have another book coming out in a couple of months, and I do really love Christina Lauren, so I'll probably pick it up, but I'm interested to see how this one pans out for me, especially the ending. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you are enjoying Vlogmas so far. If you have any comments, questions, you know where to leave them. There will be links to all of these books in the description box, and don't forget to turn notifications on and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.